Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today, I'm not alone for the first time in a good while. Abigail and Roxanne are back, as today, for me, yesterday for you guys, is a year of lockdown, which is one milestone we were hoping to never see. And what we're doing today, comparing the start of lockdown to now. So, do you two want to reintroduce yourselves?
Roxanne, do you want to go first?
Well, hey, you've seen me before, Heidi Ho. I'm Roxanne, aka Mayonette, aka somebody who hasn't uploaded in a long time. And I edit the I edit the videos on this channel. Rather poorly, but I edit them.
Nah, you do great.
I'm Abigail. I don't have a YouTube channel because nope. Last time I was on the channel, I had a Twitter account. Now I don't, so that happened. But yeah, last time I appeared, was it like 3 months ago?
It was just before New Year.
Yeah.
Was it just before New Year?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so it was like 2 months ago then.
It was a review of 2020, I think.
Oh yeah. Oh, I think we also discussed how coronavirus had impacted uni for me and Roxanne.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were like, "Ooh, it sucks." So I remember that.
Yeah.
Not wrong, but still.
Well. Anyway, now reintroductions have been done. Shall we hop straight into the comparisons?
Yes. See, I did see a video on Well, I haven't watched it, but I know that BBC News did like a video on how it's changed.
Oh.
So it's a very trending topic for people.
Yeah.
Saw it on ITV as well. They were doing like a year of lockdown.
I think the main thing, obviously, we've had like vaccinations. Obviously, there was a change to education with exams being cancelled.
Yeah.
I think there's been a lot of like social change as well. Like we had the Black Lives Matter protests, and we had like the vigil of like Sarah Everard. There's been a lot of stuff like that because I think because a lot of people have been locked in their houses, people have had more time to reflect and think about stuff instead of like being busy with their own lives. I think it's been like quite positive in that way.
Yeah, it certainly has brought a lot of changes in society that I think are going to last possibly forever. I think this single virus has probably changed humanity forever as more than what we know.
Yeah, I think it's just if it sticks though, because obviously we've seen a lot of time how the stuff just comes up as trends. Like it's just like, oh, we all support women or we all support Black Lives Matter for like a week or a month, and then no one cares after like a week later. So I think it just depends if it carries on. And because I know it's being discussed in the government, but that doesn't usually end up with anything to be honest.
No.
Disgust versus action.
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think that's the thing because I know the government's trying to put in. I don't know if they're just trying to put in a bill where if people are protesting, this is what I've been told. I don't know if it's 100% fact. If people are protesting, they have permission to get violent and like arrest them, even if the people protesting aren't like being violent. Like if they're literally just like peacefully protesting, but basically because of coronavirus, they're like, oh, we can arrest you. Yeah. So.
Oh, that's gonna take a while to go through because oddly enough, my course actually has to cover how bills go through.
So
no.
but the thing is, the police are trying to make this bill go through. Then people are protesting the bill against protesting.
Yeah,
which I just think so, like it's so like that's just irony at its finest. I love it. I'm like, yes.
Protest for the right to protest.
This is literally what people are doing.
Something else I've been hearing about this bill. For this bill will mean you get more time in jail for protesting than trigger warning, rape.
I just think that's stupid because like I know there was a stat that came out that most rapes that I don't know if it's recorded and reported. I think like they don't get convicted. It's something like 5%, or it might be lower. I think it's lower than 5%.
Yeah, it's not very high.
It's in the single digits. I remember that.
Yeah.
But So it was very low. But then you think about like protests, like it's with protesting, it's now a longer conviction, and they're probably more likely to get convicted.
Yeah.
So it's kind of just like, I think it's worse in that way. I decided to focus more on that.
Yeah.
When something else is more important.
There's only certain priorities that are going to be getting through, but it's not the priorities we need to focus on right now.
Yeah.
Of course, we're still on lockdowns.
Of course.
And making sure that everyone's safety is number one priority, but the fact is, if they start filling up prisons like that, it means that there's going to be more spread in them as well. So...
Yeah. I think that's the thing, because obviously the prisons are paid for with the taxpayers' money. So if you think about how all that money is going to prisons, like, can it go to the NHS, which needs it, instead of putting it towards protesters, which, like, protesters are not doing any harm. So I feel like in that way, clearly the government's priorities are very skewed.
Oh, yeah.
But I also think the issue, a lot of people don't trust the police anymore, because obviously a policeman has been convicted in Sarah Everard's murder. So obviously it hasn't went... I think he's been convicted, but he hasn't went to trial, from what I know.
I think that's the case, yeah.
Wait, I think he's been charged. I think he needs to go to trial to be convicted, like found guilty. He's been charged with the murder. He hasn't been convicted, so he needs to go to trial for it. But I don't think he won't go to trial for like a year, because like it always takes forever for like, because obviously they have to collect all the evidence, don't they, and get witness statements. Like it just takes forever to collect all like the information they need. So that's going to be a while. But I think that's the thing, because it was a police officer. A lot of people don't have trust in the police as much,
especially with especially with all the, not only the protests, but the false arrests, and even with stuff in different countries, like with America.
Yeah,
George Floyd.
I think it's kind of ironic how people protesting against police, and then the police are stopping them protesting against them. I feel like that's kind of ironic as well. I just feel like all these situations are really ironic, because it's just like,
Yeah.
It's just a situation of no you at this point.
Yeah. It's like, nah, basically. You're at fault because you're spreading COVID, even though I murdered someone. You're at fault.
Yeah.
Like, ooh. But, so there's been a lot of social change, but there's been a lot of medical change as well.
Yeah.
With, like, masks and social distancing.
Yeah. Which weren't really a thing at the start of the lockdown.
Yeah, I remember at the start of the lockdown, like, hand sanitizer cost, like, £10 for, like, a little bottle.
Oh.
I remember that, like, just inflation for the prices. Like, it was, like, massive. Mad.
The toilet roll.
Oh, yeah.
Why? Toilet roll.
Out of all the things that's like Monopoly money at this point, it was just toilet roll.
Yeah.
To be fair, at least people are trying to like cleanse themselves. Like they're at least we see people trying to be hygienic. Yeah, but wouldn't it be better like if people weren't buying toilet roll? I'd be more concerned if they weren't, to be honest.
Look,
I'm a bit like,
yeah, I suppose.
Like, look in that sense.
Yeah, but no more toilet roll teepees at Halloween. Instead of giving out sweets, it's about rolls of toilet roll.
This is worth more than sweets. Have a roll of toilet roll.
Just frame it and keep it on your shelf.
Yeah.
Toilet roll 2020 edition. This is the price thing in the house.
The year it became a commodity.
And then we also had the Eat Out to Help Out, which
that was a thing.
Barely in Wales, and in England it just spread the thing again. So
I am still scarred from it, mentally.
Oh yeah,
and physically.
Yeah,
and emotionally.
Because you were in the front lines of Eat Out to Help Out.
Well, I was for like 3 days because I strategically booked off every day it happened until I ran out of days to book off. So I had to work the last day of it, which was the worst day we had apparently, and I had a 9-hour shift. So.
Oh.
So yeah, that was a bad idea. Apparently, the government are thinking about doing it again. I think not. What I do know is that McDonald's is doing the monopoly over the summer, so
Hey.
that's not a good thing. No, you know how great. Like, I want my free muffin now.
Oh God, good point.
So that's going to be fun. So yeah, we got stuff like that, and then us going in and out of lockdown constantly.
Oh, not to mention the fact that with schools and stuff too. The fact is, again, we're all over the border. We have to keep an eye on 2 borders in order to see if we can get back. Because you're back, I'm not.
Yeah, I think the thing is, I don't really know if Wales or England has had a worse approach, because both of them have been dumb.
Yeah,
I think in different places.
I think Drakeford's slightly worse for the non-essential items ban to begin with, because he was the one who started that.
I think the problem with that though was then more people were going to order online, which just swamped the Royal Mail and everything.
Yeah.
Which you think about like a lot of people get their medication from Royal Mail during lockdown, elderly people if they couldn't go out. Which obviously then there were delays, so then they couldn't get their medication in time. So I feel like he kind of didn't really think about that. He was a bit dumb in that way.
Yeah.
And again, there's something else I want to point out with non-essential items. What is officially non-essential?
Tampons!
No,
I'm not even joking.
They're now allowed.
They're now essential. They weren't at the time.
Certain clothes.
In about April-ish time, my oven just packed up all of a sudden.
Ovens
were considered non-essential.
They're just Cameron, you should just buy a barbecue. That'd be a better idea.
Hell yeah.
Have barbecues every night, yeah.
Have barbecues every night and not invite
That's not a bad
anyone
idea.
over.
Yeah. Best barbecue.
More for us.
So, yeah. I guess what we do know for the future is the government's going to try and they're going to try and ease lockdown for the summer again, which I don't see the point of.
No.
Because,
I mean, I'd love to see you both. I do miss you terribly. It's just the fact that if they do that for the summer, and if they try and loosen that for the summer, then the chances are it's going to go back up for September.
Yeah, and I kind of think. Because, wait, if you heard the thing that Boris says, someone asked Boris about the 3rd wave that's happening in Europe, and he was like, if it's happening in Europe, it'll end up coming here. And I was like, Boris, what?
Boris,
close the borders!
Boris, we're in lockdown. We're going to be in lockdown 4 by the time this is over.
But I will say something. There is a difference between this summer and last summer.
We're older?
Vaccines.
Right, here's the thing. Here's the problem I have with the vaccines. Just saying.
Okay.
Because we have to be critical. Right, you know how people have to get the flu vaccine every year if they're vulnerable?
Yep.
Because they don't last more than a year. We don't know how long the coronavirus vaccines last.
Correct.
So, what happens if they only last a year, and then we end up getting to Christmas time and we're like, oh shit, what do we do? So,
hopefully they'll keep making them.
Yeah.
I reckon that's going to cost the government billions, isn't it? Especially track and trace, which doesn't work.
But then it's going to be
you got COVID tests, COVID vaccines. I reckon tax is going to go whoop.
Yeah.
We're paying through that. We're paying for this through the nose.
Yeah.
Thing is, they have to make the vaccines though for what if it keeps circulating, with for example, there are vaccines that we have to take now because of stuff that's been in the past. Any sort of newborns, they'll have to have the vaccine in order to make sure that they don't have a chance of getting it again.
Actually, you're not allowed to get the vaccine until you are over the age of 18.
No way.
Because my little brother's not allowed to get it. So So you have to be 18 or over to get the vaccine. So actually, no. Basically, you know how soon as the schools opened in September?
Yeah.
COVID went like, "Hello, I'm back.
Yeah.
I've returned." Basically, because none of the kids can get vaccines, it's going to spread again as soon as the schools open again.
Yeah.
Because they're not allowed to get them. So,
the reason they're not allowed is because they don't know if it's safe for kids yet for some reason.
That's why they're doing testing at the moment. They're actually doing testing.
But isn't the whole thing about how kids
true.
have like better immune systems than us because they're younger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So shouldn't kids be able to handle it more than us? Theoretically.
Well, in most cases, yes, but unfortunately, there have been kids really young that have unfortunately passed away. Like I read somewhere in Wales, I think it was Taff Morganic Health Board, so round Merthyr Tydfil way. An 8-year-old died of coronavirus.
I think that's the thing. From what my own dad has had coronavirus and has had the vaccine.
Oh yeah.
And he said having the vaccine's worse than having COVID. He was more ill from having the vaccine than from actually having COVID. So just saying.
I mean, both my parents now have had it because again, well, my mum was vulnerable, so she had it near the beginning. My dad just had it like on Saturday, and both of them have been fine from it, so it's a bit safer in the house.
Yeah.
Wait, have they had the first dose or both?
Just the first dose at the moment.
Oh yeah.
My mum's had the 2, and the best she got was, and the most she got was a sore arm and a very tired. She got very tired.
Yeah. I don't know, because with my dad, he has a good immune system for like bugs, if you know what I mean. But I don't know if because it's a vaccine, it's different. So it might just impacted him differently. But then you had my mum who had COVID and nearly died from it. So
Yeah.
But then my mum's not allowed to have the vaccine, so it's a bit of a. So, yeah, apparently, if you have pneumonia and you get clots in your lungs, from COVID, you have to take blood thinners, but you can't have the vaccine if you're on blood thinners. If you're still recovering, so my mum can't have the vaccine until she's off blood thinners. So yeah. So that's great. So it's a bit of a weird process. So if you've had really severe like pneumonia from COVID, you can't get the vaccine until you're off like the after effects medication, if you get what I mean.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of it's a weird process.
It's a weird one. Sorry, Buddy's just joined me again.
No.
He's on the bed. You got it. What's that? Come on.
Meow.
He's having none of it. He's like, don't touch me. He's like, don't touch me.
Say hello. Nope.
Oh,
he looks livid. He's like, don't touch me.
He doesn't like cameras, but at the same time, he loves the attention.
Yeah, I feel like he doesn't like me because he never liked me when I came to your house. He was like, ew.
Oh no, we found out that he loves nurses as long as they've got the badge on them. Because one of my cousins, she's a nurse, but she didn't have a badge on her, so he ended up hissing at her. But with the nurses that have their badges on that come visit every day, he ends up just being all over them.
You know what that means? He needs to know someone's official. He's like, I'm not allowed in my household unless you're official.
Yeah.
Get the official gear on, please.
Official gear.
Like, no badge, get out.
Yeah.
Look,
anyway, back on topic.
Yeah.
Oh yes, of course. We're talking about lockdown. Whoops.
COVID.
Yes, of course.
Well, from what I know, I think Wales is loosening up more than England. From what I know.
No, actually.
I think not, because like I'm in England right now, and I can't do anything.
Well, Boris has sent all schools in England back in one go.
Well, that was a bit.
We've done it in a phased approach. We sent the youngest primary kids back a couple of weeks ago. We sent the rest of primary back last week, and we're sending back the rest of everything on the 12th of April.
Yeah.
Whereas he sent England schools back a week before we even started. Yeah.
See, this is why I never leave my room.
Except when you did, in order to go to a different room.
Well, I leave my room to go shopping and go when I have to go for uni lessons,
Yeah.
which I hate doing.
I don't have any sort of like contact learning until after Easter. So everything for me is just still online. And out of all
Yeah. Same here, really.
out of all the departments for my campus, we're the only ones who are still back at home.
Oh.
Damn. But yeah, like, because I know in Wales, like, hairdressers have opened, haven't they? Or
Yeah.
they not?
They opened yesterday.
Appointments only.
Oh no, last week.
Last week.
Yeah. But cause I know, I think, I don't know if it was yesterday that Wales lifted the stay local thing, or it might be next week.
That was last week as well.
Wait, I thought it was last week they said stay local, and now this week they said they've lifted it, being like, oh, you can go wherever you want, fam.
Oh no, they lifted it last week as well. They lifted it last week.
I'm so far behind. Yesterday, I don't know any of this.
Yesterday, supermarkets were allowed to sell non-essential items again, and garden centres could reopen.
Livid.
Yeah. And then the rest of non-essential retail will open across the next 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Up to the 12th, I believe.
Right.
Yeah, 12th of April is when everything's supposed to be open again.
Because the thing is, none of that's happened in England yet. But, so I don't know, because obviously Boris put everyone back into school at the same time, that was a bit dumb. But then I think Wales has been a bit dumb for opening up other stuff. So that's what I mean when I'm like, I don't know which one's worse. Because they're both doing dumb stuff in different ways.
Yeah, they're doing equally dumb stuff, just very different manners.
Oh, wait a minute.
From what I do know in England, on the 12th, we're allowed to start driving lessons again. That's all I know.
Yeah, you remember that place that's on the border between England and Wales? What sort of time they're having? Because one has to follow the England rules and the other one has to follow the Welsh rules.
Oh yeah, that place.
Yeah,
I feel like they probably have to follow the England rules, to be honest, as like a county. Probably.
But it's split down the middle though, so it'd be quite funny if they.
It depends which side you live on. I think.
As soon as they walk over, they have to follow different rules.
I think it depends because, like, I reckon if your house was properly on the border, you probably have to follow the England rules because, like, England's bigger and better, apparently.
England's taken over
so
Wales.
That's probably how it goes.
Wales taken over England.
Yeah. So
fair point.
So I feel like that's how it would probably go.
Yeah.
But I reckon it's gonna be like what happened like last time. You know when Wales had like the 2-week firebreaker and they went like. You know when afterwards they went out of lockdown and England went into lockdown for a month.
Oh.
So I know tons of people from England who I know who go to uni. Not from where I go to uni because we're way too far away from the border.
Yeah.
Way off. But people go to like Liverpool and Manchester. They were like going over the border to Wales to go on nights out, and they go back to England the next day. So they literally just went to Wales to have a night out, then they go back to England where it's like in proper lockdown. And I was just like, what? So people were doing that. So it's clearly not that tight restrictions, is it?
It's clever, but that was. Oh my god.
I feel like that kind of defeats the point of like, let's save people's lives.
Yeah. The firebreakers on both sides should have happened at the same time and for the same length of time.
I feel like that's the problem. Because I remember when I was coming back to uni, coming back home from uni, England had just come out of lockdown like a week ago.
Yeah.
And as soon as I came back to Wales, within a week we were back in lockdown. So I literally had 2 weeks out of lockdown and I was back in. And I was like, can you not? I was like, I can't do anything. I was livid.
That lockdown, right. The night it was announced, the next day, I was going to be doing D&D with some friends.
Yeah.
The friend who was hosting bought the food for the next day, got into the house, announced the lockdown. He was furious. And honestly,
He just-
so was I.
Oh my
He just eats all the food crying. He's
He
like,
gave us 7 hours warning. 7.
I remember, like, I understand why he did it like that, but the problem was, like, everyone rushed out to the shops at
Yeah.
night,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which I was like, oh my god.
And he said
It's
3 hours
bad.
after, don't go rushing to the shops. You're like, what else do you want us to do? Starve?
I love how he said that 3 hours afterwards. I'm like, why don't you just say that in your speech?
Yeah.
This is 3 hours afterwards when people already done it.
It just makes
And what would that
sense.
have done anyways?
Yeah, I was kind of just like I guess the only problem is if they give 3 days notice, then people just go 8 for them 3 days, and that's the problem. So I don't think they can win either way,
No,
whatever
not
their
really.
their tactic is. So it's kind of like a win and lose situation. But
Yeah.
so it's kind of like I'm not really sure which approach is better,
If
because obviously if you've already made plans, it kind of sucks. But obviously we've got to prioritize people's health, though.
I mean, if they could think about it beforehand, because they set up like a timetable for how it's supposed to work and then quickly scrapped. So they should have at least thought about multiple things first before just changing the rules there and then. So if you're going to do
Yeah.
a major lockdown, just start with the major one rather than going into it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's harsh, but it needs to be done. Just getting over
Yeah.
and done with the major stuff before
Yeah.
loosening, rather than going like, okay, bumpy, bumpy, bump. It's just
Yeah.
I think the problem is they have like weird priorities when they'll be like, oh, I understand why they need to open up like gyms and hairdressers for people's jobs, but I'm like, I think I can survive a year without a haircut. It's not that big of a deal for me. Like, I can deal. Like, I'm fine with my hair growing out. It's not that big of a deal. I understand some people look like idiots because of it, but we all look like idiots right now, so it's fine.
true.
Like, I've morally
Yeah.
judged it. So it's just like, and then I have people being like, going to the gym is a necessity. I'm like, is it though?
Huh?
Oh,
Like, is it
Is
though?
it?
Because like, right, because I am top gym lad, I worked out in my room, didn't like it, wasn't my own thing, but I did it. It's possible.
Yeah.
which room? You mean
Like,
your bigger room or your box room?
This one.
Oh, thank goodness
My
for that.
big room.
Not the box room.
But I reckon people should just invest in a Wii Fit. That'll do everything they need.
Yes.
You have the instructor, they let you know.
True.
What they could do for Switch is do like a Wii Fit thing, but they also have multiplayer so you can connect with people around the world.
That'd be so good.
I
would so
know.
play that.
Come on,
I would so play
come
it.
on, Nintendo.
Yes.
Not sponsored, but please.
Well, I remember when originally went into lockdown, like Nintendo just released Animal Crossing, so the sales just went like.
Oh, our lockdown
yeah.
started the day after the pre-ordered release of Animal Crossing came out. I remember this because I picked up my copy that day and told everyone you can't have it.
Yes.
I remember like the sales were. I remember like tons of people were like, "I've never played this game before," and I was like, "I played it since the GameCube." Piss off! I was like livid. I was like, noobs.
Get on my level.
Yeah, literally me. I was just like, all these people were like, "This game's rubbish." I'm like, "You don't understand how far it's come. It's developed so much." I was like going off. It was like the most important thing to me.
The good old days.
So days when we thought this would all be over in like a month.
Oh god.
Ah. I mean, we got out of
Yeah.
exams and stuff for it, and the cat's leaving.
Yeah.
If them exams would have been cancelled, I would have hands down failed. But I'm bad. Yeah. Now I'm in uni. I don't know what I'm doing. Literally.
Haven't done exams in like a year or so. No idea what's coming up.
Well,
Because I still have like an exam to do instead of all the assessments that they're doing for all my course. for one bit in particular, I have to do an exam simply because it's outside of the uni. So I have to do a closed book exam still and send that in.
Wait, how are they going to make sure it's closed book?
They're probably going to have like an extra tab up or something. So if you end up looking over on another tab, they'll probably sense that or something. Or I have to go into the uni and do some writing.
See, this is why you get a separate laptop, put everything you need up on it, and be like, yeah, I'm not opening up another tab, looks over here.
No, you end up copying everything from the website into a book. And then just flipping.
Like literally the day before, you print off every PowerPoint you need. You're like, I didn't open up another tab.
Oh no,
it's all here.
I've actually got all of the work that they've given saved on my hard drive where I save all Cameron's videos as well, so it's just like, come on, give me the info.
You're like, I'm not opening new tabs, so I'm not cheating.
Not cheating, using the resources you've given me.
Precisely. I agree.
Bingo. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is how to cheat at exams.
I've learned how to cheat in exams since I was in year 10, guys. Like, I'm a pro.
Yes, this is lockdown edition of cheating.
Yes.
Lockdown edition of cheating is much easier, I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, because there's no one else around.
Because you don't have exam invigilators looking over your shoulder being like, ooh, look at that answer. It's wrong. Let's go on.
Or, you know,
thanks, love.
Or, you know, the woman who ended up fainting in one of our exams.
What?
And she was like...
She ended up fainting on one of on one of the girls' desks. I'm like a couple of seats behind and just see it all happen.
See, my whole thing was, right, you know how, like, we were all like, it's boiling because it was, like, June, and we were, like, freaking dying, and they were like, nah, it's not that hot. She fainted. Please, can I take off my jumper, love? She fainted because she was still hot. I don't know if she was too hot, but she still fainted.
Look,
and I should have let them know that I was boiling. Yeah. That's my main issue with all the exams being in summer. Like, come on.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sweltering.
Well, exams are earlier now. It's like May, June for us, rather than June, July.
I've literally got all of mine in, like, mid-May.
Yeah.
So I'm like, what? See, I don't get my results till the end of June, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do for, like, a month. Like, what do I do?
Animal Crossing.
Because I have to stay. I have to stay here. I've already finished my town.
Have you got 100% on the? Have you got all the 100% on the encyclopedia yet, though?
Right. Here's the thing. No. Listen. I cannot catch the tarantulas or scorpions, so I've given up. Every time I do it, they just kill me. I'm like, all right, love, calm down. So I end up dying. It's not fair. I get agitated by them.
I mean, I can always, if
it's what my life's come to.
If I could send bugs in the post, I would send you them because I can catch them easy enough.
I actually have Nintendo Online now.
So do I.
I have it. I had it, and I was like, "Ooh, am I going to get them gifts that Roxanne sent me ages ago?" No. I still haven't had them.
Oh God.
Super Nintendo. Oh. Cameron, this is just some like Animal Crossing stuff from like months ago.
It's fine.
Yeah, didn't this happen when you were in college still? I'm pretty sure you did this like as soon as you got the game.
I think this was in like summer because.
Oh yeah, this was like summer.
This was like summer.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember.
I was gonna say because if this was like just to be fair, like we finished college on like the 14th of March, didn't we? Officially.
Yeah.
Or the 18th. Yeah, so like we literally finished like months before we were supposed to, so it was kind of just like, what do we do? A lot of sleep. That's what I remember doing.
Yeah.
Animal Crossing and other duties.
You know, I kind of wish I could go back to when we were like the start of us being in lockdown because it was so peaceful. There was no drama. Just sleep all day. and go on Animal Crossing all night.
Yeah.
Because that was my schedule. But now, no.
No.
I think that's the issue now, because we got like food places, like McDonald's is back open. Which obviously is better for the company. But I'm lazy. Yay.
Anyway, should we talk about some good stuff that happened over lockdown?
Animal Crossing.
Well,
I'm joking. That was a good thing though. Like, I think most people agreed that kept people occupied if they weren't working.
yeah. Disney Plus will have released a year today at the time of release of this video.
Disney Plus is rubbish. It pauses all the time. I don't like it.
I never got it.
That's my stance.
It does have some bugs.
So yeah, I've never had it.
It does have some bugs.
But my boyfriend, because I have one of those. They're not that good, but we move. We move.
Hey!
He has it, and it's poo. I mean, Disney Plus is poo, not him.
Yeah, I was like, wait a second.
Yeah. He's not going to watch it. I even told him about it, and he went, I'm not going to watch it. And I was like, okay.
Ouch.
So I can literally say whatever I want about him.
Okay.
Because he's not going to watch it.
I have to put a timestamp at the beginning of the video for him.
Yeah, put a timestamp and send it to him, and he's like, ooh. Yeah, so Disney, and I remember in lockdown, like, I got Netflix, and I think I watched Skins, and I watched some other TV shows, but I just got bored of watching TV shows after a while. To be fair, in lockdown, I did, like, paint all of the walls in my bedroom, so I did do that, so it was quite fun.
That was nice.
Yeah, but I think I've looked at, like,
yeah.
I didn't really do anything, to be honest, like, I'm not gonna lie. I feel like mainly the good things that came out of it was like the Black Lives Matter movement, stuff like that.
A lot more awareness of a lot of different topics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like also the government's been criticised more throughout this, which I think is better, if you know what I mean.
Yes,
yeah.
That's good. Being held accountable is something that needed to be done a lot more, and now they're finally doing it.
Yeah.
For example, breaking the law in not revealing the COVID contracts for the vaccines.
Like, it was kind of like, you know, when they were like, oh, we're not going to give kids lunch meals, we're going to starve them. And you know how we were like, let's expose our MP. And we did. And then people put tons of like signs outside her office.
No,
it was better than that. It was plates. It was plates.
Oh yeah, because and so they wrote on the plates, yeah. Which I thought was a great idea. I love that. So
yeah.
Oh, here's another good thing about the year. The orange of a president getting out of power.
Yes.
That was beautiful. I remember, like, I literally stayed up during the night to watch the results, and it took them like 5 days to get the results in. And I was like, I shouldn't have stayed up.
Oh, when the final results came out for him,
hurry up!
When the final results came out for him winning, a couple of my friends at uni and I were just sitting overlooking the sea with a really nice sunset, and then we finally look at the results and say he's won.
But you're just sitting there, you're like at peace, finally at peace.
it was a really nice shot, to be fair.
But
like the thing is, in hindsight, while Joe Biden is better than Trump, he's still not that good because he's done nothing.
It's the lesser of two evils.
Yeah, he's still a bit poo.
But let's remember the 6th of January.
Oh.
The
Capitol.
Oh, when... So I shouldn't be laughing about that, but I just think it's so stupid. I was like...
You know, Trump inciting an attack.
Like, I remember when that happened, and I was like, is that actually happening? And it was like, yeah. And I was like, how dumb are they? I was like, why would you
watching
do that?
it.
I was just like, no. It's one of them things when, like, it's so stupid, it makes me laugh. Because it's that ridiculous. Yeah. It's just like... Why? Like, imagine if all of us turned up like Buckingham Palace to storm it. Like, it's just not going to happen, is it?
No, armed guards are actually trained pretty well. Can't do that.
They're just like, excuse me, sir, the Queen's in here. I'll be like, all right.
Yeah.
Area 51, but it's the Queen edition.
Yeah. So I think a lot of stuff's happened, which is great. We've also had the protests against lockdowns being like, oh, COVID isn't that bad. Which,
yeah.
See, to be fair, like, obviously before I experienced it as a household when I was back home, I kind of didn't feel as strongly about it. But now, since like my mum nearly died from it, I'm kind of more like, yeah, we should like stay in lockdown because people like. I remember with like my mum is even classified as like vulnerable.
Oh.
But now like she is because she was on blood clotting tablets, which gave her pneumonia, which is why she's on blood thinners ultimately now. But she wasn't classified as it, so she didn't immediately go to hospital because like as soon as she phoned up, they're like, "Nah, you're fine, you're fine, mate." So I think when all these people are like, "No lockdowns, no masks," I'm more like, "No,
shut up."
Yeah, it annoys me more now because I've seen what it can actually do.
Yeah.
So I think it's more of them because like I'm sure there was some protests in Bristol, wasn't there, or in London about it.
That was the police a couple of days ago.
Yeah, I think one of them was for the police and the other one was against lockdown. I don't know if the one in London was against lockdown because there were like two on the same night, but they both for separate causes, from what I remember. So I think the one in London was like anti-lockdown people. People are like, "Oh, it's the same as having a cold," and I'm like, "But it's not."
No,
like, it's not the same as having a cold. Like I wish it was.
Yeah.
So yeah. But I love how after all this time the government hasn't improved the track and trace system.
Oh, they've given up on that at this point because if they were keeping up with it, we would have had many.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I literally don't even have like the app anymore because it kept like going off. It was going off when I hadn't left my house in like 2 weeks because I'm antisocial. It was like you've been in contact with someone. I was like, who? I was like, who have I been in contact with me? No.
The thing is, I have the app, but the fact is, it's still set for me when I'm in uni rather than here. So it will tell me about me being in uni.
Yeah, I had that. So when I came back, I deleted the app and re-downloaded it and put in my home postcode. But it doesn't make any difference what you put your postcode as. The only difference putting your postcode in is it telling you what like your level of restrictions are.
Yeah.
It still just uses like the trace thing. So there's like the postcode thing doesn't actually do anything. It doesn't track where you actually are. It just tracks if one phone pings off as having COVID, it'll just ping your phone if you've been close to it. That's all it is.
And like, the app is for it too.
Yeah, like the app is very like basic.
Yeah.
Like in its design. And it still doesn't work.
Oh, here's something for you. If you end up like checking somebody else's symptoms on your phone, as in if they don't have the app and you're checking, it'll lock your phone as thinking you have COVID and will tell you to just stay indoors, and it will keep warning you about it. So if you're trying to check somebody else,
I had that, so I just deleted the app. It wasn't for me. It was for my mum. So my mum did have COVID.
Yeah.
Then it thought I did, but then I had a test and I didn't have it. So I was just like, but obviously I had to self-isolate because my mum was. But it assumed I had it, so it would have told other people I'd been in contact with they'd have it, which I was like, well, they're not going to because I don't have it. Unless I was a carrier. But like, I don't get how you know if you're a carrier though. You know what I mean?
Well,
you don't.
You don't know, but
really?
with the asymptomatic test, it will tell you if you do have it or not asymptomatically.
Yeah. I think when I did mine, it was like you just don't have it all.
Yeah.
So that's what I had. But yeah, it just doesn't work, which is a bit rubbish. Because I thought I know there's one I don't know if it's I think it's in China or Japan. I don't know where, but I know there is like one of them has a track and trace system, which basically it actually tracks where the people are going, So if someone does get COVID, it'll send out an alert of everywhere they've been. So if they've touched like a banister on a staircase in like a train station, it'll alert everyone in the area so they don't touch that banister until it's like been thoroughly cleaned. Because also like obviously like hypothetically they might not have touched it, but they don't chance that, so they let people know like don't touch anything in that area.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, that's so interesting.
That's much better than what ours is. Which like they had that track and trace like when we went into lockdown originally. Like they already had that up and running. So I feel like ours is just rubbish compared to theirs, because theirs is like very like thorough.
Yeah.
All right, let's end on a high note, shall we? Let's end with what we're hoping for the future.
Hoping to see the end of lockdown this year, for me.
I'm kind of hoping the vaccines actually work long term. I think that's the main thing.
Yeah,
I'm hoping for.
Or at least work.
I'm just hoping they work long term, because I feel like if we have to keep like, I don't mind getting needles. I'm not bothered by it. Like, it's not a problem. But I feel like it's going to be a lot to the economy, and then tax is going to go up, and that's going to be like detrimental to people. And I feel like, so that's one of the things I hope, thinking about like economy ones, because a lot of people like don't have jobs now anyway.
Yeah.
So like, if you think about it, like who's going to want to get a job if they're going to have to pay like half of it in tax, if that's hypothetically what we have to do to re-thingy the economy. So I kind of feel like if we do, like, obviously the UK's always been in debt, but we're in significantly more debt.
Yeah.
I thought that's kind of a high note, but that's more of like I hope that is what the outcome is, so that it will be like positive.
I mean, I hope for there being a new normal, more of a normality again, being able to go out, do what you want. But the thing is, just not taking for granted the fact that we can't go and see each other when we want to.
Yeah, that's what I've been saying in the last few vaccine videos. When we can, legally, go see people. If they ask you to come out, do it.
I think the only things I feel like should stay is the thing of like, I'm a naturally claustrophobic person, so I don't like people being near me anyway. But I feel like, you know, when like people very close to people, I feel like people should like, not 2 meters, obviously, that's a bit excessive.
Oh, yeah.
But I feel like it shouldn't be like as close as people do get.
Yeah.
Like standing in a till queue at a supermarket, and people like right down your necks.
Yeah, I feel like people should be more conscious that people like want to have like a personal space, and if people do actually feel like you shouldn't be offended.
Yeah.
I feel like it shouldn't be like, it's just like, well, maybe they're claustrophobic, they don't like it, or maybe like they are conscious. But if you think about like some people who are really vulnerable, even if they do just get a cold, that could kill them. So it can be like they want their like, this is even before COVID that could have happened. So I feel like people do need to be more conscious in that way, which I think would be like a positive aspect.
Yeah.
Still giving you a hug when I finally get to see you again, though.
I will get a COVID test beforehand.
I'll get like 2.
I'll put sanitizer all over my body. I will be clean.
I'll just get a suit, just entire suit, just to be like, yeah, safe.
Just a hazmat suit.
Yes. You're like, wait. If you have a superhero suit, you're like anti-COVID. No. You should do that.
Yes. Okay.
You're like, you know what my power is? I'm against COVID. Woo.
Yeah.
That's what you should do.
The good news, I can get rid of COVID-19. The bad news, it's now COVID-20.
No, please no.
This is my thing, because like I like hardly hug people anymore. Like, I remember before I left, I hugged my flatmate. It was just so awkward. I was just like,
okay, that was interesting.
And then I remember like when I like got home and I like hugged Kai, and I was like, this doesn't feel right. I don't like it. I spent so much time just not touching people. It's just a bit like, Nah. Weird.
Yeah, and I was able
That's
to...
it. I feel like human contact's just weird now. Don't like it.
Oh no, while I'm not mainly like a fully people person, I do miss like giving hugs to my friends. So when I finally got to see like Laura again, and we were able to do it safely, hugging her was just like the best thing on earth. It was just nice.
Yeah. I think it's nice when you haven't seen each other for like a while. I think it's gonna take a while for people to get like used to it. But I'm not someone who was like, like how some people you'll like meet them for the first time. They're like, "Can I have a hug?" I'm like, "Whoa! You have to know me for like 5 years to get a hug, mate. Yeah, 5 years.
Too soon.
Too soon. Get out of my bubble." so I feel like it's after this, a lot of people are going like, "Hug, please." I'm like, maybe. I think that might have been where I went wrong with my flatmate, because I hugged her after like 4 months. It wasn't the right time.
Too soon.
It was too soon. Too soon. It was because we haven't even held hands yet. Oh, no.
No, we've already done that. We're at that base. Fine.
Yeah. Us two held hands around Tesco.
Yeah.
You're like, ooh.
That's why I bring plushies as well.
That's like, hello.
Very squishy.
Beautiful.
That's my alternative. Yeah, anything else you want to add, Cam?
Not that I can personally think of. I think we've covered pretty much everything we'd need to. Anyone else?
I can't think of anything else.
Nothing on top of my head.
Alright. In which case, I shall wrap up this video. And I'm going to start by asking you two if you want anything promoting.
My good exam results. Can we all pray for them?
Pray.
Oh, yes.
Can we do a silent prayer for me getting good exam results?
Yeah.
Like I don't even care about my social media following. Can we just pray for my exam results, please?
Right.
Of course.
Thank you, guys. Right. If it doesn't add in our pictures, we are currently praying. Just letting you all know.
I don't know if I'm leaving
yes.
all of our moving images in there or not.
If you want, you can. Because I don't look that bad to do.
You look beautiful.
Yay!
For me, feel free to follow the YouTube, because I don't, even though I don't post too much. Blog, I post every week. And there will be a link for this video for a news article that I've ended up writing recently. That's been posted in my university magazine. So that'll be released at like 5 o'clock today when we're recording this. So it'll be there ready for tomorrow.
Yeah. Woohoo!
And subscribe to Cameron.
Cameron, is there anything you want to promote?
Well, I'll get to that in a moment. Because now, of course, it's outro time. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. As always, of course, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to mine and Roxanne's YouTube channels. Her link is in the link tree at the top of the description. My sub button is down there, that big red one. Unless it's grey, then you've already subscribed. Thank you for that. And comment as well, because why not? And let me know what you think of this video, and let me know what you think of the lockdown and how it's been for you. Don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Roxanne on her blog, as she's just mentioned. Those links are also in the link tree, which is at the top of the description, as I said. And lastly, of course, don't forget to share this video with all of your friends so they can join the infinite loop of liking, subscribing, commenting, following, and sharing, and around and around and around that loop. And I'll see you guys tomorrow with another video. Goodbye.